The winter of 2024 was unforgiving. A cruel thaw followed by a plummeting temperature had created a treacherous landscape of ice and snow. Sergei, a retired engineer with a heart as warm as his wood-burning stove, found himself staring at a tiny, shivering form trapped in the icy grip of his backyard. It was a kitten, its tiny paws frozen solid in a puddle that had transformed into a lethal trap overnight. His heart ached for the creature, its whimpers echoing in the crisp air. He knew he had to act fast. He called the local veterinarian who, despite the late hour, offered advice, urging him to pour warm water onto the kitten's frozen limbs. Sergei, with a fierce determination, began the arduous task. Bucket after bucket of warm water he poured, his heart sinking with every passing minute. He felt a surge of hope as he saw a faint blush return to the kitten's once pale, frozen paws. Finally, after 12 buckets, the kitten was free. Sergei gently carried it inside, wrapping it in a warm towel, and placed it on the radiator. He felt a pang of sadness, knowing he couldn't keep the kitten. He was alone, his wife had passed away a few years ago, and he wasn't sure he could handle the responsibility of a pet. Yet, the kitten's desperate cries had touched a deep well of compassion in him. He decided to find the kitten a loving home. He posted a heartwarming video of the rescue on YouTube and an appeal on his social media page. The video, filled with Sergei's gruff yet tender voice, resonated with viewers worldwide. The kitten, with its wide, innocent eyes, became a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. The video, translated into numerous languages, went viral, attracting the attention of a young woman named Ekaterina. She had just lost her cat, a beloved companion for many years. She was heartbroken, but the kitten's story touched her deeply. She decided to reach out, hoping to find a new furry friend. Ekaterina and Sergei arranged to meet. When Ekaterina saw the kitten, she felt an immediate connection. It was as if it was meant to be. She named it Semyon, after a beloved childhood character. She promised Sergei that Semyon would be loved and cared for. As time went by, Semyon flourished under Ekaterina's care. He became playful and affectionate, but remained cautious around strangers. It was clear that the experience had left a mark on him, shaping his personality. He would curl up on Ekaterina's lap for hours, purring contentedly, but would shy away from anyone else, especially men. Years passed. Semyon grew into a beautiful, sleek Siberian cat, his dark fur gleaming in the sunlight. He became the heart of Ekaterina's home, a constant source of comfort and companionship for her and her young daughter. One winter day, as Ekaterina was looking through her old photos, her eyes fell upon a familiar image. It was a picture of Semyon, a tiny ball of fur nestled in Sergei's hands, the warmth of the radiator radiating around him. She remembered the man's kind eyes, the rough hands that had so carefully saved the kitten from the icy grip of winter. She realized then that Semyon's fear of men was not due to the ice, but to the memory of the man who had saved him. It was a fear not of men, but of being alone, a fear that Sergei, the man who had brought him back to life, had unwittingly instilled in him. Ekaterina knew she had to find Sergei. She felt compelled to thank him for the gift he had given her, the gift of Semyon. She found him through an online search. She had a picture of Semyon now, a healthy, happy cat. She wanted Sergei to see how his kindness had blossomed into a life filled with love. A few weeks later, Ekaterina stood at Sergei's doorstep, Semyon nestled in her arms. The moment she stepped into his home, Semyon, who was usually wary of unfamiliar people, let out a soft meow and walked towards Sergei. He sat down and Semyon, without hesitation, jumped onto his lap, purring. Sergei looked at the cat, then at Ekaterina, a flicker of recognition passing through his eyes. He reached out and stroked Semyon, his calloused hand gentle against the soft fur. Ekaterina could see a tear roll down his cheek. "He remembers you," she whispered. Semyon, the rescued kitten, had brought them together, bridging the gap between strangers.